Hey there, Desperate Actors. Welcome to the Desperate Actor YouTube channel. It's me, Steve Des from DesperateActor.com, and today we're going to be talking about the role that I wasn't expecting. So this is the callback. So if you've been following the Storytime series that we've been doing right here, on last edition we were talking about the audition part of this role that I basically changed my life. And now we're on the callback portion of it. And by the way, if you're interested on getting to know, how you can break into the Hollywood industry, how you can get coaching, if you want free coaching as well, we have a podcast too. Everything is on DesperateActor.com. So go right there and you get all the info you need. But let's talk about the callback. So after like maybe a week and a half goes by, I haven't heard back from them. So I'm, just doing my thing and scheduling the things that I'm doing and working for free. Essentially, I didn't hear back from them, and they are eager to see me again. But this time, it wasn't for the actual role that I auditioned, which, again, this is my first time kind of experiencing this. So I was just like, okay, that's cool. Like, I'll do, I'll consider whatever other role you got for me. And to my surprise, it wasn't for another college student. It wasn't even for someone going to college. It was for a teacher. So they wanted me. First of all, I want to say I did not look like this. So if you go to like previous footage of mine and things, even early here, Desperate Actor, I think there's some videos that I was very clean shaven and I didn't even have hair. I was just fully buzz cut. So my look was like of someone that was maybe 15 years old, even though I wasn't. I was like, at this time, I was like 20 years old during this time. And I literally looked, I was 20, but I looked 15. So I was like, oh my God. So they want me to go back again there, but they want me to be a teacher this time. So I'm like, okay, I need to make myself look older because I do not look older at all. Like I don't even, it really boggled my mind that they called me back. Not that they called me back because I was expecting a call back. I was like, I did a good job. But what really boggled my mind was that they wanted me to be a teacher. And I was like, what? So I just literally started putting like as much professional clothing I could find. And meanwhile, I didn't really have money. So I had to like use my resources or go to like Goodwill, thrift shopping, things like that. So I managed to get button ups, I got a little vest and things like that. I borrowed someone's glasses or something like that, or I bought some fake ones. I don't remember all the details because remember this was a long time ago. So so I was just like in shock. I was just like, okay, they want me to be a teacher. And the particular thing they wanted me to do in the callback was like this very long monologue. That was the part that really excited me because when I was the college student, it was a lot of dialogue. So it was a lot of like little lines, medium lines, little lines, medium lines. So it was a lot of back and forth. So you have to do those type, which is very typical. The majority of the time you're in the industry, the majority of the things you're going to be getting or auditioning for the most part, are going to be dialogue. So you better get familiar with that, But for my audition, it was a lot of like dialogue. So I was constantly going with someone off camera, essentially back and forth about the scene. For the teacher itself, since I'm a teacher, or getting that role for being a teacher, I am essentially teaching people. I'm like giving people classes essentially. And the classes that I'm giving is kind of like intro Spanish. And funny enough, I was a Spanish teacher assistant in my last year of high school. So I have a little bit of experience teaching kids, but I was helping. I was the assistant of a teacher for first graders. So it wasn't college necessarily, but in a way, because you're teaching Spanish, this role was teaching Spanish 101. Essentially, it's in a way you're teaching first graders. You're teaching American people how to speak Spanish. And it's very basic and things like that. But you're using your hands, your movements, and things like that. So I'm really good at monologues. Like I love monologues because growing up, I was in a theater monologue team. So I specialize on memorizing monologues, like very long monologues, and adding a lot of color to the monologues. You know, adding action and adding stage direction and things like that. And I'm really good at that. So in that way, I was confident. But where I wasn't too confident was the fact that I was like, okay, they want me to be the teacher, but I really don't look like a teacher. I gotta make myself look like a older person. I have to go from looking 15 years old to looking at least 30 somehow, some way. And I, for the day and time that they wanted me to do the callback, it's so here's another tip for you guys before I continue with the story. When you have an audition, it's easier. It's much easier for you to reschedule. So let's say you got an audition at 10 a.m. and you're busy at 10 a.m., but you're gonna be free at 10:45. It's way easier for you to reschedule that time for your audition. Be like, hey, I can't do 10, but can I do 10:45 or later? And that's much easier. When it becomes a callback, they only have like a very short window of time to see particular roles. Because you got to think also in the casting director and production and the people there behind the scenes, like these are busy people, like really busy people. Not saying that you're not, but they schedule these callback times because those are the specific times that they are fully invested in these characters. So you have to, as much as possible, honor that callback. Here was the issue that I had. That day, if you go back into the Storytime series, I did a music video called Super Love with this YouTuber called Shane Dawson. And during the second day of shooting that music video, I had my callback. So I was scheduled to go at the AM to my Super Love music video shoot that I wasn't getting paid for. But I went there early, and then for the longest time, because this is going to happen to you on set, for the longest time, for hours, like I'm talking 2-3 hours maybe, I wasn't being used at all. Like I was just there doing catering, reading a book, talking to fellow actors, pretty much doing nothing. And then when the time came for me to be used on set, we were getting close to that callback time. And remember, at this time, I didn't have a car, a vehicle, or anything. So essentially, I needed to take the bus from where I was all the way to Culver City to go do the callback. So I was timing it, but they kept using me and using me and using me. Like when literally they were using me the most was when I had this callback coming. And I was like, oh my God, I was rehearsing my lines. Every time I had like even a second on set to just break, I would just like rehearse. And I had, and in this music video, I'm portraying like a high school student. And then I have to go to this callback and portray a college teacher. So I had in my backpack, essentially just like all the clothes of the teacher. And I was dressed as the student. So at one point I was just like, man, it's cutting too close and I can't be late to this callback. So I literally rushed to the bathroom. Whenever I saw a break, I just rushed to the bathroom. I said whatever, and I just rushed to the bathroom. I changed real quick, clothes, and I left. I left set. I didn't. I only told like some actors that I was leaving, just so they can keep me posted or whatever, and text me or something like that. But I was like, yeah, I'm gone. And I left. I waited for the bus. I took the bus. I got there. I walked all the way to the house. Uh, in the house, I just waited maybe, like, not even. I waited maybe like 2 minutes. And then they're like, okay, we're ready for you. And I went, I did my thing. And they were like, all right, thank you. And I left. And literally that was it. Like, they didn't ask me to do it a second time. They didn't give me no feedback, nothing. I just went, I did my thing, and they said thank you. So I literally just went back, grabbed the bus, and got back on set. And it was like nothing happened. They didn't notice, nothing happened. I was in the clear. But yeah, that's literally the story of my callback. And after the callback, of course, days go by and stuff like that. And then, dun, 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 I received a phone call. And what did that phone call say? You have to wait till next week for the story time for that, okay? Remember, this is a series, and I gotta put cliffhangers here so you guys tune into the journey. But this is all true. This is all things that happened to me, and I'm happy that you're along with this journey. If you want to start your journey, or maybe you are on your journey already and need a little bit of help, go to dezperatactor.com. We have their free resources, and we have premium resources there for you. So go check it out. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share with a friend or two that might need it more than you do. And I'll catch you on the next one. All right. Take care and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.